Hi there. As I mentioned recently, I'm going to start doing the occasional movie review. And I thought I'd start it off with the most recent film I've seen, which is the Bond film, No Time to Die. Now, let me say straight away, I'm a fan of Bond. I've read the books and seen all the movies. And I remember as a family, my parents took me and my sister, and we all went to see Dr. No when it first opened in Liverpool. I've seen every film since. And Casino Royale, Daniel Craig, uh, is one of my favourites. In fact, it's in my top three Bond films, possibly top two. And I thought that he did a really good job in that film. Unfortunately, the subsequent Daniel Craig films have dropped off in quality increasingly until the most recent one, which is the worst. And I think really the one of the reasons is Casino Royale. Daniel Craig was fresh to the part, and also Martin Campbell is a superb action director. If you just look at his track record of other films he's directed, you'll see that he handles action very well, and the film was terrific, and it still holds up. No Time to Die. Really, let's talk about the plot. The Bond films, really, the plots are silly. The books, Ian Fleming had some supervillains and world domination plots or master criminals and so on, but they were much simpler usually, and sometimes they were much more condensed, like one individual just doing something rather mundane. I think A Quantum of Solace, the actual book, which was a short story, falls into that, and also Your Eyes Only. However, the plot of this film, it really was at the heights of silliness, and it was boring as well, the plot. However, we don't really go to the Bond films for plots and plot twists and jaw-dropping moments and revelations and things. We go for the action, we go for the locations, we go for the excitement. And unfortunately, this film's lacking in those departments as well. The cast, M, his boss, looked like he was suffering from indigestion for most of the film. Now, Ralph Fiennes is a great actor. He's done some really good roles, and in his, I think the first Bond he appeared in, before he became M, he was quite good, quite a powerful character. But even he looked as though he wasn't really in it and enjoying himself. I thought the female lead was rather good. And the opening sequence, where it's not the same actress, she's a young girl in it many years earlier, was pretty good and pretty exciting. And she really was the standout as far as the acting's concerned. Now we come to the villain, and it was pure pantomime. He made Dr. Evil look like Hannibal Lecter. Now I saw the actor Rami Malek quite recently in another film called Little Things, where he played a detective, and he had the same frozen facial expression and the same creepy voice that he used in the Bond film. So maybe that's how he acts. I've only seen him in two films, but it was appalling, and really it was laughable, to be honest. The action sequences, particularly where Bond is in a bad guy's lair and he's moving through a structure using a long gun, and he's taking out baddies. They're just popping up out of doorways and halls and stuff, and he's slotting them. And it's video game. It just reminded me, I don't play video games, but I've seen clips of them, look like a video game. And if you take movies like John Wick, where the action is very inventive, and I think the Bond franchise could have learned a trick or two from that. It looked like the action directors were also kind of given up on this particular movie, and it didn't convince me at all. Now, Daniel Craig has announced that he doesn't want to do any more Bond films, and to be honest, after watching this film, I don't really care. I don't care who's playing Bond, and I wouldn't really care if there isn't another. If there is, and it's good, and it's at the level of Casino Royale, I'll be delighted. But if we don't get another Bond film, there are plenty of other good or great movies. Hopefully, although Hollywood at the moment doesn't seem to be in the business of making really good movies, they seem to be in the business of producing woke diatribes. But maybe that will change, and we'll get some decent films. You know, I think there is another John Wick coming out, so that's something to look forward to. As for people that they've suggested to replace Bond, they mentioned Idris Elba. He'd be great. There's quite a few actors. Depends how they want to go. Do they want to go for a younger Bond? I don't know. If they do, it might work. But as I say, they've managed to really drop my interest in the whole thing. Hope it continues and hope it does well, but I'm not that confident.